We're almost home. Your room is just the way you left it. I know it's hard to leave your school and all your friends, but I've arranged the best possible tutors for every subject. You'll have to work hard this year to prepare yourself before your 15th birthday, but I know you can do it. You'll learn quickly, and you'll make a wonderful queen. It's what your mother would have wanted.
This is not what mother would have wanted. She wouldn't have wanted to die and leave me.
No, she wouldn't, but sometimes bad things happen. We have to pick up and carry on. All of Nova depends on us. On you. I'll be here to guide you until your coronation, but the decisions you make are ultimately up to you. Come, your maids are waiting. You practice deep breathing exercises to build up your ability to sustain a note. You visit the kennels and learn about different breeds of dogs.
What's all that noise outside? Who's here? Oh, it's my cousins and my aunt and uncle.
Darling, we were so terribly sorry to hear about your mother, Fidelia.
Thank you.
You look well, niece.
Hi, Lottie.
Hi, Lottie. I haven't seen you in ages. Will you be staying long?
Yep, Mommy said we'll be here all month.
Maybe we'll have some time to talk later.
I love this room. It's so much bigger than mine back home.
You should visit more often. It's awful that the only time I get to see you is something like this. I know your brother and sister are still too young, but why haven't you come to school?
My mother worries about me. She doesn't think anywhere but home is safe.
I understand. I'm probably not going to be allowed to leave this castle until my birthday. But at least we can have fun together. Your teacher walks around you, prodding a finger at you slowly, in order to train you in blocking those touches without triggering fear or faster breathing. You learn that the gods cannot be forced to divulge information about the future, and that the most powerful omens are those which arrive unexpectedly. What's that commotion outside? Father, what's going on? I have come to pay my respects in honor of your mother. You have no respect or honor. It's because of you and your powers that my wife is dead. What? I am a lumen, as well she. And like every lumen, I am willing to give my life if necessary to protect our domain. Your line has been traitors for 200 years. I won't have you corrupting my daughter. That is for the crown princess to decide. Elodie, your mother trusted me, and I have much to teach you. I want to hear what she has to say. She says. As you wish. What is it you wanted to teach me? First, I need to know if you have your mother's crystal. What crystal? The source of power for any lumen is a particular magical crystal. Once you bond it with it, it becomes a part of you as long as you live. The royal crystal has been passed down from ruler to ruler for generations. It belongs to you now. Except that the king may be keeping it from you. Do you have a crystal? Of course. She holds out her hands, light flickers above her bosom, and then with a shower of sparkles, something takes shape. You reach out to touch it, and it dissolves away into nothing. Oh, it belongs to me. No one can take it from me until I die. You need to find the crystal that belongs to you. You practice with a jump rope to increase the speed of your footwork. You practice solo tennis, hitting a ball against the wall repeatedly in order to train your hand and eye to react. You may now play sports on the weekends. Only a lumen can channel magic, and only with the help of an attuned crystal. The ability to control crystals seems to be inherited, so crystals can be passed from parent to child upon the lumen's death.
He loves me not.
Lottie, do you have a boyfriend?
Not really, I just like to play with the flowers.
All of a sudden, the Duchess Ursula rushes to the gardens and points a sword at you. No, not at you, at your feet. Princess, don't move. You want to hold still, but you don't have the composure to hold your position without peeking. You look down where her sword is pointing. The snake is in the grass. You can't help it, you squeak and jump back. The snake tenses and prepares to strike. No! Your cousin pushes you aside as snake fangs sink into her leg.
Lottie!
Too late. Juliana swings her sword and cuts off the snake's head. What is going on out here? Your daughter's been bitten by a milk viper. They're poisonous. Get a herbalist right away. I will treat my daughter. I certainly can't trust anyone here to keep her safe.
I'm sorry. I don't feel so good.
We'll be returning home to Merva immediately. Your aunt has a point. Milk vipers are not native to the area. This snake could have never been here. Someone may have tried to kill you.
Will Charlotte be okay?
I don't know.
Dad, what happened to Mom's lumen crystal?
It's in a safe place.
Can I have it?
No.
But it's mine!
Meddling with magic killed your mother. I don't want that to happen to you. Once you're crowned queen, I can't stop you from doing anything you want, but for now, you're still a child. You learn to relax and evaluate the tension in your body, then to practice the different types of motion available to each of your joints, twisting, shifting, and rotating. You practice assuming a sitting position that allows you to be relaxed and tranquil, without being so relaxed that you are likely to fall asleep. The castle seems quieter with Charlotte and Emery and Zahra and their parents gone. It's certainly not empty though. It seems like we get more swords every day. I was so worried about Charlotte after that snick bit her, but her mother said she's okay, so I guess it turned out alright. Maybe she is a guardian angel. My father says I can't have the crystal until I'm queen, so we'll just have to wait. There may not be time to wait. The world is full of dangers, and you will need the powers of Illumin to fight them. You can't begin training until you've bonded with your crystal. What else am I supposed to do about it? The crystal is probably held under guard in the royal treasury. You are the princess. You should be able to find a way inside. Otherwise, we might have to take drastic action. Alright, I will get into the treasury. You practice curtsying, standing, and walking across the floor in a graceful manner. Dropping your favorite plate is bad luck. A statue spontaneously shattering is a bad omen. You read about well-known signs of bad fortune. Wells turning sour, dry lightning, strange fish caught in nets, malformed babies being born, and so on. One of the maids approaches for your attention. My lady, couriers have arrived from the Duke of Sedna. We have a Duke of Sedna? No, my lady, the Duchy of Sedna is in Talassi. They have brought you a letter and a gift. Condolences on the death of... Deeply regrets, best wishes. Oh, what a beautiful necklace. Something sparkly will make me feel better. You try to talk your way past the treasury guards, but despite eyelash fluttering, foot stomping, and outright threats, they won't budge. Until you have children of your own, your maternal uncle, the Duke of Merva, is next in line for the crown, and after him would be his daughter, your cousin Charlotte. The Duke of Sedna is 26 years old and unmarried. It might be considering a good marriage prospect for you if you desire stronger ties with the domain of Talassi. As you are walking, you spot a familiar figure in the palace gardens. It's the Duchess of Ursel. Maybe I should go say hello. Then you notice that seated beside her is a woman in the robes of a priestess. They are very close together, their hands gently touching as they speak. Looks like she's busy. You turn and walk in a different direction, so as not to disturb them. At that moment, you notice something unusual. It looks like someone just left the palace grounds by going over the ledge. Was that a servant, a thief, or an assassin? You look around for something to climb, but you're not sure if the nearby trees can support your weights. You run over to the statue and try to pull yourself up upon the pedestal, but it's too awkward to get your feet in place. By the time, whoever you saw is probably gone anyway. Sitting in on court sessions is not fun at all, but it pleases your father, and it may be important for your future. You practice walking on the arm of a partner, and following their cues to pause and turn while keeping your eyes closed. Practice different partner dance positions closely held at a distance, and non-contact, and the appropriate hand placement for each. The kings and queens of Nova have all been lumens for centuries, but in modern times, magic is only used for ceremonial occasions and the direst of emergencies. Long, long ago, the continent of Borealis was ruled over by a single witch king, until a rival line of lumens challenged for the crown. The resulting war went on for hundreds of years with powerful spells that damaged the land so badly that even now, no plants will grow. As you're walking up the stairs, a maid comes running down holding a towering pile of linen. You swiftly step aside and let her pass. Sitting in on court sessions is not fun at all, but it pleases your father, and it may be important for your future. You brush up on basic mathematics with the help of an incubus. You study the manipulation of large quantities through direct calculations using written numbers instead of an abacus. There is a man here to see you. He wishes crown funding for a project of his. Remember, the treasury is not unlimited. If you choose to invest, you will have less money to work with later. Your Royal Highness, I have a plan to print books using metal letters which can be moved and reused. I need to borrow 875 lassie to assemble the metal and the factory to mold and cast the type. With this system, we'll be able to create new books in a fraction of the time it takes now, and make copies to send all over the world. I don't know much about factories or trade. Would that really be worthwhile? We're not interested. You try to walk past the treasury guards, but despite eyelash fluttering, feet stomping, and outright threats, they won't budge. You study money lending and the controversies involved in charging interest. According to the druids, one should always return more than one is loaned, or else the debts gave no value to the world. You study bookkeeping and the art of notating incomes and expenditures, as well as how to determine the amount of funds a solvent business needs to keep on hand in order to continue functioning. Your Highness, my sympathies for your loss. Even after all these years, I sometimes forget that my own mother will never be coming back. Thank you. However, I must call for your aid. The Ixianite occupation of my country of Imbrium has gone on for too long. Now's the time to push back. I know there's been some problems with Ixion, but I don't know the details. I guess they're occupying Southern Marie. I don't know anything about the military. I don't want to fight. It must be a peaceful way to solve this. I will send for diplomats from Ixion and try to come to some arrangement. Thank you, Your Highness. Your Highness, if I may ask, that necklace you're wearing, where did it come from? It was a gift from the Duke of Sedna. Then you have made arrangements with him. What sort of arrangements? Your Highness, this is a courting gift. The man wishes to gain your hand in marriage. Oh, I didn't realize. You try to explain to the guards that you need to visit the treasury in order to gain an accurate report of the domain's finances. They waver slightly, but in the end, they stand by your father's commands. You learn about the concept of diminishing returns, a point after which spending more on a particular project fails to improve it as much as previous spending did. Your skill in accounting is now 50, you may not increase the skill until your other economic skills are 25 or higher. You learn about dog grooming and the most common diseases and injuries that dogs suffer from. You learn the standard commands for working with trained hunting dogs and retrievers. The representative from Ixion is here. Be careful, no one wants to give up prizes that they have already won. You have the full support of my sister and myself, Your Highness. Let's get this over with. Your Royal Highness, thank you for granting me this audience. I am sure we could come to an amicable agreement. Let bygones be bygones, no. We will forget about your unprovoked attacks on us, and you will transfer the rights to this little province. We can be good neighbors again, without any lives being lost. This is not acceptable. All the land north of the river belongs to us. We are willing to offer some payment in exchange for the inconvenience you have suffered, but nothing more. I believe we could settle the matter for 8,000 golden lassie. That's an awful lot of money. I don't think that will work. You're trespassing on our lands. You will withdraw your troops at once. Only then will we have peace. My soldiers are poised to destroy you. Withdraw now. But I'm very sorry we were not able to come to an agreement. I guess now we have to fight. You try to explain to the guards that you need to visit the treasury in order to get an accurate report of the domain's finances. They waver slightly, but in the end, they stand by your father's command. You learn that even the smallest of villages has a central market where locals can trade what they've grown or made with others who have different skills. You walk around the stables, meeting the royal horses, learning about their breeds and the names for different parts of their anatomy. You receive a report of the outcome of the battle against the Ixionites. You see them driving out of Marie, but it cost you almost a full battalion of soldiers and a great deal of material. You lost 1,032 soldiers. The Duke of Marie will be happy, but we could have done better. You also receive a letter inform you of that Talaris, Duke of Sedna, will be arriving for an official visit next week. Dad, if this trouble with Ixion started years ago, why didn't Mom fix it? Your mother told the Duke of Marie and the Duchess of Hellas that it was their problem, and they should sort it out themselves. Oh. Should I have done that? The situation is different now. Everyone on all sides wishes to see what sort of queen is coming to the throne. Everyone is judging me. You learn that individual peddlers travel between villages and cities, some on foot with packs of mules, others riding horses or wagons, sometimes different wagons grouped together to form a caravan. You learn about caring for horses, grooming with different brushes, and keeping hooves free of stones. You learn about the different pieces that go into saddles and bridles, how to check for signs of wear, and how to equip and adjust them on a horse. Ah, Your Highness, what a pleasure it is to meet you in person at last. Description did not do you justice. I didn't know how to deal with handsome older men paying me compliments. I was so pleased to hear that you had accepted my humble offering, a jewel for a jewel. But you are the more precious. I hope that this is only the beginning of a mutually beneficial relationship. A union between us would bring stability to both our peoples. He really does want to marry me. I need to let him down gently. I am not marrying you! I'm only 14! That may not have been gentle. I see. I regret the misunderstanding. You sneak out of the castle to have a little fun. You enjoy your freedom, but your father won't like it if he finds out. You learn that Sunset Bay off the coast of Duchy Mozamba is a prime location for fishing. You visit the mews and learn about different kinds of trainable birds, their preferred nesting sizes, behavior, and food. You are requested to stand in judgment. A woman has been convicted of attempted murder and requests the mercy of the crown. Your Highness, the Slatherin dares to beg pardon when she admits that she tried to poison my sister under her own roof. Which sister? Corasande, the Duchess of Mead. Is she alright? She is unharmed. We caught the culprit in the kitchens before anyone could eat her foul spew. Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
It's just this it is. Them devils killed me brother and broke me mam's heart. Lied to her they did, when she went to see why he never come back. Said he'd gone for a soldier when he never would. He weren't the only one neither. I waited 10 years for my chance to get my own back. That's justice. You see, she's completely unrepentant. Hang her and be done with it.
I don't know what this is all about. Either way, murder is a serious crime, but... You have tried to murder a noble in my domain, and I have no reason to believe you wouldn't do it again. You'll be imprisoned for the rest of your life.
You'll not have me!
All of a sudden, she breaks loose from her guards and rushes at you. In your court dress, you are unharmed. You grope for a weapon and find only a heavy ornament, which you hurl in her direction. Your missile fires wide of its mark. Before you have a chance to do anything else, your personal guards step in action, cutting the woman down before she can endanger you. A lifeless body lies bleeding on your carpet. Clean that up. You sneak out of the castle to have a little fun. You enjoy your freedom, but your father won't like it if he finds out. Your maternal uncle's wife, the Countess Nyx, claims kinship to the old Mervyn line and originally asked your mother for title to the duchy. However, no one could verify her lineage. As a compromise, your mother created her brother, Duke of Merva. The last Duke of Mead was the older half-brother of the current Duchess. His reign was brief and highly scandalous. He defied tradition to pledge himself as the life mate of the old Duke of Ursel, then broke that off only a year later. He retired into seclusion and died still unwed. You learn about the types and amounts of food required for an army on the march, and how long they will remain edible. As you're walking one day in the gardens, you hear a strange sound, and look up to see an owl flying overhead. A single dry leaf flutters in its talons. An owl flying in the open in broad daylight? That's unusual. I wonder if someone attacked it. When you return to the castle, your father is waiting for you. There are reports that a Keithong has been sighted leaving the old forest. What's a Keithong? A beast with the body of an enormous golden cat, a sharp beak, and spikes on its back. Eee! Several disappearances in southern Calaris are already thought to be the work of this creature. What do we do? Should we send hunters? The traditional policy of stray beasts is to hope that they return to the forest and stay there. Hunters are no match for such creatures. You would only make it angry and waste more lives. So we just let it eat people? Everyone dies in the end. You wander through the parts of the castle where other people rarely visit. You'll find little except spiderwebs. Yuck. You learn how farmers in the Duchy of Marie rotate between fields for raising crops and fields that lie fallow. You have unlocked the new outfits. You study taxation and learn about how past monarchs demanded too much and drove peasants into ruin in order to collect it. Other monarchs demanded too little and drove whole domains into ruin by lacking the funds to sustain and defend them. Remember that the Festival of the Good Lady is approaching. There will be a public celebration for the commoners, followed by a grand gala for the nobility. A grand ball? There will be dancing. As queen, you would be expected to lead the procession and take part in the ceremonial planting, possibly give a speech. However, since you are not yet crowned, it is not required, and it may not be safe to expose you to the public. What do you mean, not safe? Outside of the castle, you are less well protected. If anyone means you harm, think of it now. Decide later. There's a letter for you as well. It's from Brioni. I went to school with her, but she's a couple years older than me. Her mother is the Duchess of Mead. She's complaining that her mother still won't let her come home for the holidays. Apparently her uncle Kevin has been acting strangely lately and shouting at shadows. She's bored and looking for an adventure. Well, I don't have any to suggest to her. You overwhelm the guards with facts and figures, explaining that you need treasury access to adjust your royal budget, which may affect their pay packets as well as the taxes assessed on their friends and families. They stand aside. The glitter is dazzling, but some sixth sense draws you toward one little locked box in particular. This is what you need. This is the crystal that will make you a lumen. You tuck the box into your pocket. You can show it to your mentor later and get instructions on what to do next. You discuss the nature of beauty, looking around at landscapes, objects, and people, and comparing their aesthetic elements. You learn about the fragility of hunting birds and the years of training necessary to develop mastery. Luckily, your royal falconer does most of the hard work for you. You learn about the hood and leather jesses, how and when they are worn, and how to keep them maintained and oiled. You have unlocked a new outfit. Today is the procession and planting for the Festival of the Good Lady. Will you be leading the parade? If you have any concerns about your safety, please stay here. The people will recover from disappointment. If we lose you, there's no recovery. No, I guess I'd rather stay here. You watch the procession from your tower window, feeling safe but lonely. Suddenly you hear someone moving around outside your room. You turn in surprise, but it's only a maid.
My lady, what are you? Should you not be in the procession?
It's a major festival, but there are other ways to celebrate. I prefer to give thanks for the good lady's blessing by meditating.
That's very wise of you, my lady.
I got it! What do I do now? Pick up the crystal with your bare hands, press it against your chest, over your heart, and say, Illuminates. Okay, here we go. Illuminates! You feel dizzy, and both larger and lighter than you were before. The crystal has disappeared from you, but you know where it is. Wow! The priestess here is a friend of mine. I will come to your lessons in the faith and train you to use your powers. You close your eyes and learn to feel the magic inside of you. You practice using small amounts of magic and feeling that power outside of yourself. Your mentor summons up magical energies to strike the nearby ground so that you can learn to sense someone else using spells. Are you ready for the grand ball? All the nobles in the domain are here to see you, to see their queen. You finish dressing and descend to the stairs to make a grand entrance. All around, the rich and powerful pause in their activities and gaze upon you, the ruler of them all. Seeing yourself reflected in so many eyes makes you run away and hide. After a moment, you force yourself to carry on, but you're sure they've all seen you hesitate. Your father waits for you at the bottom of the stairs and offers you his arm. The first dance is for us. He guides you gently around the dance floor, never rushing you. It's fun to dance with your father, but the look in his eyes is so sad. After this, you must choose your own partner. There are a number of men who hope to catch your eye. The Duke of Kadal alone has brought 3 eligible sons, all near your age. You look around the room, and all of your possible partners. Which is to say, everyone. No one may begin dancing until you do. You can pick whoever you want, and you will not be denied. You approach Linley, the second son of the Duke of Kigal. He's about 2 years older than you, and he was always nice to you at school. He bows to you with great courtesy, and you begin to dance. Dancing with a real partner feels quite different from dancing with your father. You knew him, knew his steps like a part of you, now every move is a mystery. Unfortunately, you lose track of which steps you're supposed to do when, and trip over your own 2 feet. Whoops. Between the dances, there is time for the guests to mingle, chat, and sample tiny bits of exquisite food. During a lull in the music, Banian, the Duke of Marie, taps an elegant fingernail against a wine glass, letting the clear note ring out through the room. If I may have your attention, I believe we should offer our compliments to our lovely hostess. Her bravery and courage keep our borders defended. Everyone applauds politely. As the gala continues, you take the opportunity to observe nobles that you rarely see. There's Gwendol, for instance, the young lady of Sudbury, only months older than you and due to finally inherit control of her duchy soon. Or Adele, the youngest daughter of the Duchess of Lilla, and a fierce sportswoman. She was a few years ahead of you at school and the absolute terror on the ball fields. No Brioni. She had said her parents were leaving her, stuck at school this season. Her parents are here, dancing together, the Duke Consort clutching his Duchess positively tight. Strange that there's no sign of your cousins, though. Shouldn't they be here? Your aunt and uncle are here, of course. It would be scandalous if they hadn't come, Merva being so close by. It's nice to be able to enjoy time with friends and family, isn't it? You spend the weekend holed up alone in your room with your favorite toys. It's childish, but you feel a bit better. You increase your awareness of your own thoughts and emotions, making it more difficult for mind-affecting magic to twist your reactions. You learn to summon a small glowing light, which you can then move around independently. You wander downstairs to visit your father, and talk about the latest events in your domain. You're moving with such enthusiasm that you don't realize your father isn't alone, until it's too late to avoid him and his companion. You are too kind, Jocelyn. Countess Siren, not a member of your circles, she's a bit more than a decade your senior. Far too old to have ever been your friend, and yet not at all old as noblewomen go. She has 2 minor titles, no husband, and your father's arm in her grasp. How dare she make a move on your father? You wait until the Countess gets closer, then hook your foot around to make her stumble. Unfortunately, you get your feet tangled up and end up tripping yourself, falling to the ground with a thud. Elodie, are you alright? Oh dear, she does need a bit of looking after, doesn't she?
Not by you!
I should go. I hope to see more of you later. Once she's gone, you raise an eyebrow at your father. Don't give me that look, young lady. She's a nice woman, nothing more. She wants something more. And it's not going to happen anytime soon. You should be careful how you deal with people like Siren. You need the goodwill of your nobles as well as your commoners. There haven't been any problems so far. Many dark looks were aimed your way at the gala. As queen, you must be aware of everything around you. Isn't that what I have agents for? Yes, but you must give them direction. What is your greatest concern? I need to know what the other nobles are up to, and whether anyone is plotting behind my back. As you wish. You take to the court for a few games of tennis. Feel the thrill of competition. You learn to consciously project a magical field through your thoughts, blocking outside magic from touching your mind, but only when you have the energy to constantly resist. You gain innate resistance to light and dark. You can now see in the blackest caves or stare into the sun without going blind. You learn how to cast rays of white light, which can banish shadows and blind your opponents. You learn to create tiny discs of solid light, which can fly through the air and cut into targets. You have unlocked new outfits. This is the time of the year to decide any necessary adjustments to the royal budget. The majority of the money received is already spoken for, but there's always some room for discretion. Based on the records and notes of current expenditures, if you maintain the current rate of tax, you still have 9,994 gold lassie and 59 silver lassie available for special projects. You can't imagine any reason that you would need to spend so much. You could afford to lower taxes. I think they're fine as they are. As you wish. You spend the weekend holed up alone in your room with your favorite toys. It's childish, but you feel a bit better. You study the kinds of equipment that soldiers need available, such as bedding, weapons, armor, medicine, bandages, and the tools to repair anything damaged. You study different kinds of transport, animals, wagons, sleds, ships, boats, and boots. You take up a wooden sword and practice correct grips and stances. You are requested to stand in judgment. A man has been convicted of the murder by strangling of his wife. He does not deny the act, but requests a pardon that he might be set free. If you admit you killed your wife, why do you think I'm going to set you free?
Save me, your majesty. Wasn't my fault. Demons made me do it. Everyone knows the power of magical beasties. They used me. They twisted my fingers into chains. My wife found me screaming. She tried to shake me, and the chains wrapped around her. I need the priestesses to bless me and make me clean again. I do feel some kind of magic around him. Is it possible that he's telling the truth? Jolyn might be able to tell if I can't. Her lumen power is stronger than mine. I wish to consult with my advisor. Please send for the Duchess of Ursel. As you wish. Your Majesty, can you not see the truth for yourself? It is your mercy that I beg, not the powers of a witch. Does she control this castle as well with the demons that she summons? Several onlookers gasp. I've ruled this castle, and I expect to be obeyed. Your Highness, I sound ready to serve. Without warning, the Duchess of Ursel draws her sword. What? Elodie, get down! The man raises his hands, which begin to glow, the demon's power, or his own. Before he can act, Juliana slashes her sword through the air. A wave of energy sweeps away from her blade, striking the man's upraised arms and shredding his skin. He howls and his fingertips elongate, forming golden chains that float through the air. Your marshal up your own powers and join Juliana in combat. The battle is messy but brief. Soon the condemned man lies motionless on the ground before you. After a moment, an orange crystal materializes next to his body. I guess I'll have to take that for safekeeping.
There is my judgment. This is what happens to bad people. You sneak out of the castle, have a little fun. You enjoy your freedom, but your father won't like it if he finds out. You close your eyes and call out when you detect your mentor casting a silent spell beside you. You learn to detect ongoing enchantments, such as blessed weapons that can do magical damage. You learn to conscientiously project a magical shield around your body, blocking intrusion, a powerful technique, but you can't keep it up for long. You gain increased resistance against heat and cold, becoming comfortable in different weather and environments, and able to sip hot soup without burning your tongue. My lady, there's a letter for you. Who sent this? It's signed. It appears to be a poem describing you in a manner that is entirely inappropriate for a queen. What? With a squid? That's actually pretty funny. Just then, an incredibly unlucky breeze swirls between the windows of your tower bedroom, tugging the paper out of your hands and off into the sky. You stick your head out the window to discover the poem, caught and fluttering on the roof nearby. You can almost reach it. What's the worst that can happen? It blows off and someone reads it and laughs at you? That's better than breaking your neck. Besides, if you're lucky, it'll rain and wash the words away. If you attack an enemy lumen and you win, and they leave behind a crystal, is it possible to combine that crystal with mine to make it stronger? Each lumen can only hold one crystal. The only way to combine their magic is if a living wielder chooses to join its power to another. Oh. So I should destroy other crystals to stop anyone from using them against me. That is the traditional policy, but it is a lie. Lumen crystals cannot be destroyed. Rulers claim otherwise to discourage thieves from seeking dangerous treasures. What am I supposed to do with the crystal then? Guard it or hide it, or give it into other hands to wield. But if the last holder of the crystal was an enemy, the resonance of the crystal will work against you. It will be attuned to a personality as foolish or violent or scheming as the lumen you defeat it. So anyone taking the crystal would probably become a new enemy. That's useless. A weak-willed candidate might be acceptable to the crystal, and yet still controllable. You could then steer that lumen away from dangerous paths, making an ally and changing the crystal's resonance. It is, however, a dangerous endeavor, and one that requires your complete attention. Not really a project I can work on while I'm so busy studying for my coronation. Well, it's only one crystal. That's not too much trouble. You learn to tell the difference between different kinds of magical signatures so that you can tell roughly what a spell you detect is meant to achieve. You expand your magical perceptions to give you some idea of where a detected spell was cast from, and how long ago. By concentrating, you can create a wave of disconnect which panics and enrages animals in the area. You learn to create a blade of solid light, in which you can wield like a sword to slice through flesh and stone alike. I regret to inform you that Fabian, the Earl of Titan and Duke Regent of Elath, has passed away. This isn't really surprising, he was pretty old. The problem is the political implications. With the control of Elath in doubt, it falls to the crown to make decisions. Young Lord Adair will not reach his 15th birthday for over 2 years. He requires a regent. His stepmother, Aris, the Duchess of Lilla, has petitioned that the boy be left in her care. This would, however, leave her in personal control of 2 neighboring duchies, which is generally forbidden. Almost the entire eastern border. I don't know anything really bad about her, though. The boy does have a living grandfather, the Earl of Ishtar, or you might appoint an unrelated noble to act in his stead. The Earl of Ishtar has suggested another possibility. You and Adar are both pretty young, not too far apart in age. He requests that we accept the boy as your future husband, and keep him here at the castle. Okay, I'll marry him. At least that way I won't get stuck with an old man. You can't actually marry him until he's old enough, but he will be brought here to live as your companion. You pay your respects to your mother's tomb. I wonder if the same fate is waiting for you. You learn how to quickly flare magical shields around you to deflect an incoming attack. This uses much less energy than a constant shield, but it requires good timing to be effective. You learn how to maintain a low-level deflection field so that magical attacks not directly target at you will slide harmlessly aside. This doesn't need much power, so you can keep it up for long periods of time. You learn how to directly counter offensive magic that's your own power, so that you can burn out a spell that someone else has cast. This is very dangerous if the other spell is too powerful. You learn to direct a beam of searing light through the end of a staff, burning whatever you point at. By concentrating, you can create a wave of disconnect which panics, confuses, or enrages other people around you. You learn to shape light into images of things that are far away, or things that don't exist at all. There's a woman here to see you. She's a musician and wishes crown patronage, which means money. Your Royal Highness, if you accept me as a member of your court, I will immortalize you in word and song. I have dabbed in musical styles from many countries, and can entertain your guests and lighten your evenings. I wonder if She also writes naughty poetry. Mr. often uses secret agents and messengers that can be useful and dangerous. Mr. sings a little ditty to demonstrate her skills with the lutes. She's actually pretty good. Thank you, but we're not interested. You spend the weekend holed up alone in your room with your favorite choice. It's childish, but you feel a bit better. Your increased skill and power gives you innate resistance to mind-affecting magic. Your understanding of the flow of power gives you increased resistance to damage caused by magic. Even without a shield, you can still be hurt, but less than an ordinary human would be. You have nothing more to learn about resist magic. You learn to create a powerful explosion of light, burning those caught within and blinding others who look at it. You learn how to make use of images to wield your other powers at a greater distance. You have nothing to learn about wielding magic. How's Adar settling into life at the castle? I found him in the garden trying to catch frogs, so I showed him a few tricks. I'm sure you'll work things out. Hi, Adar. Hi, Elodie. How are you doing? Okay, I guess. It's really quiet here. How come you don't have any more brothers or sisters? I don't know. Mama Reese said it's a noble's duty to have a big family. Well, not everyone agrees with her. Sorry. Should I kiss you now? What? If you want to. You have to bend over a little so he can reach. The result is damp. Sorry. This must be even more strange for him than it is for you. He's also a parent too, and now everyone else is making decisions about his life, including you. If you'd like, you could come to some of my classes or meet with the tutors that I'm not using that week. I need support for you to learn too, right? You're going to be a duke and a king consort like my father. Okay. You learn to detect the latent power that signifies a lumen, even when he or she is not actively working magic. You expand your senses, learning to detect spells and magical creatures at a greater distance. You learn to detect lingering traces of strong magic from the past, even when the spell has long since completed. You have nothing more to learn about sense magic. The domain of Shanjia, across sea to the west, has been steadily increasing in size, and now controls a wide range of coastline as well as most of the navigable rivers. The political disruption in Tombula in recent years has caused a disruption in their chocolate production, which is into the benefit of Nova, particularly the Duchy of Kigal. Staring up into the sky out your window, you notice a strange flash of lights. A falling star, pretty. Sitting on a court session is not fun at all, but it pleases your father, and it may be important for your future. You study the strengths and weaknesses of different weapons and battle formations. You learn that the sea is not something you hold, it is something you travel across. Naval strategy ensures your free travel while denying it to your enemies. I have unpleasant news to report. Talaris, the Duke of Sedna, has instituted high tariffs and trade restrictions at the Elath border. Business is disrupted and there are growing shortages of supplies. You have a large amount of discretionary funds remaining in the treasury. It can be easy to handle the situation. That the Royal Treasury will pay to keep the people fed. Very well. You pay your respects to your mother's tomb. I wonder if the same fate is awaiting you. You study the effects of battle stress on troops and how morale can turn the tide of combat. You study military recruitment and the importance of training and motivation in making soldiers who can trust and depend on each other. You study different kinds of ships, their names, designs, the number of crew needed for each. You study different kinds of ships, their speed, mobility, and standard complement of weapons. You have unlocked the new outfits. My lady, there are letters for you. Another letter from Brioni. Why does she keep writing me? We are never even friends. She says she's bored and lonely, and she's looking forward to seeing me at Gwendol's birthday party. That's right, Gwendol is about to turn 15. She'll be Duchess of Sudbury for real now. The other letters must be my invitation to her birthday celebration next week. Gwendol and I were friends at school, and this will be a big event. It's also a very long way to travel. A lot of things can happen on the road. It'll be good to see my friends. You take to the court for a few games of tennis. Feel the thrill of competition. You practice slow swings to move your blade to precisely mark targets, building up your muscles and control. You drill with your partner, attacking and blocking in carefully timed patterns. You learn how to twist and wax bowstrings from a variety of fibers. On your journey to Sudbury, your carriage is attacked by bandits. You look down and shock the arrow, which has buried itself to your side. However, you can hear screams and curses, but it feels unreal. Your world is centered around pain. struggle with the arrow, afraid to pull it loose. You heard a story somewhere about pushing arrows through your body, so you brace yourself and give it a shove. Unfortunately, it only drives the arrow deeper into your vital organs, turning a painful wound to a fatal one. Elodie did not survive to reach her coronation. Nova would have to go on without her. But it doesn't have to end this way. Make different choices, trade different skills, and Elodie's star may rise again.